Welcome to the House at Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. I am your host, and I am the tribal chief of Raider Nation. Put those ones to the sky real high. Do me a favor.
Acknowledge me.
Hope everybody is having a great Monday wherever you guys are at. Before we get into it, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, let me teach you real quick. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. Jesus Christ, tripping over my own words already. Bourbon Raider, welcome back. Ayo, Anthony, what's good? Edgar Sosa, Herman Munster, Fitzmatic, David Walker. Am I missing anybody? Just been bad, baby. I think we're good. I think we're good right now. Yeah, I can't focus. Anyways, look, you know what today is. We're going to be doing this every single week leading up to the 2026 NFL draft, but it is Mock Monday. While Silver and Black are watching from home, NFL landscape is shifting fast. We got the wild card scores. We're going to go through everything. Coaching bombshells as they have happened over the last couple of days, and the latest on who might be prowling the sidelines of Allegiant Stadium next season. So let's get right into it. Let's go through the final scores of yesterday's. There's still one game remaining tonight, and that is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Houston Texans in the wild card round. So let's go into it real quickly, and here you guys go. Here are the final scores from over the weekend. The Bears 31, the Packers 27. Caleb Williams was a story here, throwing for 361 yards, 2 late touchdowns to eliminate their rival Packers. We have some news to talk about that as it pertains to the Packers head coach, Matt LaFleur, as we go further into this show today. What other games do we have on Saturday night? We had the Rams and the Panthers. This was, again, I looked at the Panthers being a very sneaky team going into this playoff. They've been a very sneaky team throughout the season, but ultimately it was a thriller in LA. Matthew Stafford found Kobe Parkinson in the final minute to seal the win, and they move on. Yesterday's games, the Bills and the Jaguars. Bills 27, Jaguars 24. Josh Allen, Buffalo led Buffalo to victory, 3 total touchdowns, snapping the Jags' 8-game winning streak. Jaguars were another sneaky team this year, especially with new first-year head coach Liam Cohen. Still a very well-fought game. And look, the hurdle for Josh Allen throughout the playoffs, throughout his career, has been Patrick Mahomes. Well, guess what? Patrick Mahomes is not in the playoffs this year. So let's see how far the Bills can go without Patrick Mahomes being in the playoff picture. 49ers and Eagles. 49ers took this 23-19. The defending champ Eagles are officially out. Despite losing George Kittle to an Achilles injury, Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey found a way to win. And last but not least, and this is one that I just continue to laugh about and will continue to laugh about, the Patriots 16, the Chargers 3. Total defensive dominance by New England, sacking Justin Herbert 6 times. So all these Charger fans, oh, Justin Herbert, he's not overrated. He's not this. He's not that. Miss me with that bullshit. Last playoffs last year, one and done. Multiple interceptions, you got eliminated. Yesterday, you were sacked 6 times. Guess what? Off to Cancun you go. I don't want to hear, well, at least we made the playoffs. And guess what? You still have 0 rings, bitches. Don't care. Don't care. Let me see. What am I missing here? Look at Adam Schefter, new report about Harbaugh. Oh, shit. All right. So I guess I'm going to have to go looking right now. We're going to have to go digging already. And I was not expecting to have to do this yet. Let's see. We have a lot to talk about, so we are going to get into everything too. While the Falcons announced an official interview with former Ravens head coach John Harbaugh, he already has been conducting preliminary and extensive phone calls with the Giants, Titans, Browns, Raiders, and Cardinals per sources. He is trying to determine who to meet with later this week and into next week before making a decision. He is fully expected to coach in 2026 per sources. And that is from Adam Schefter about 3 minutes ago. So shout out to Dominique 5. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Thank you for allowing me to share it with each and every single one of you guys. Appreciate that. I really do. Let's see. And to think we beat these jokers, hey, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you. Exactly. Chargers blaming their O line with so many excuses. Hurt me doing. So I let somebody else tell me he's a top 10 in this, that, and the third. No to Harbaugh as a Raider to old. And Alex, you know what's funny? I've talked about that, but I've also looked at the standpoint of who could he bring in as an OC, and I've talked about Coach Logic. For those that don't know who I'm talking about Mike McDaniel. I do see Mike McDaniel being more suited as an offensive coordinator moving forward. I definitely would not like to see him as a head coach in Vegas. As no disrespect to him, a great offensive mind, but it would be one of those situations where the attention is all on him. From what he does on the sidelines to what he's wearing on the sidelines. Like, we don't need distractions. We don't need a whole spotlight directed to Mike McDaniel. So much rather prefer him as an OC. If he could be on board with John Harbaugh, then maybe. But then again, would be who's the rest of the coaching staff. But anyways, let's keep going. As like, I don't want to get sidetracked. I don't want to get derailed. But said I was going to talk about this before in terms of the Bears and the Packers. You know, Graf has been very high on Matt LaFleur, and rightfully so. Brought their teams to the playoffs consistently for the last few years. This season for the Green Bay Packers, yes, they lost to the Bears the other night after giving up an 18-point lead. But at the same time, the Packers have battled through injuries throughout this entire season, including losing their best defensive player, Micah Parsons. So speaking of the Packers, and again, the heartbreaking loss, the news out of Green Bay came this morning per Adam Schefter. The Packers are looking on a long-term deal to keep Matt LaFleur in town. Even with the 3-6 playoff record, CEO Ed Policy isn't letting one of the best offensive minds in the league walk away. This takes a potential big name off the board, as we know. Again, Graf had talked about him potentially being a guy to be the next head coach for the Raiders in the event that the Packers do let him go, but it doesn't seem like the Packers are wanting to let him go at this point in time. So we shall see how that plays out. As it goes with the head coaching search, Mark Davis and Tom Brady are casting that wide net. The favorites right now is Klint Kubiak, the Seahawks offensive coordinator, who's currently the betting favorite to land the head coaching position in Vegas. With the Raiders holding that number one pick, the word is Brady wants a young offensive-minded guru to develop our next QB. New names that have been thrown out there recently. They've requested permission to interview Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur, who is Matt LaFleur's brother, for those that don't know, and Panthers defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero. There's also interviews that seem to be out there right now for Kevin Stefanski, the former head coach of the Cleveland Browns, and Matt Nagy. They're going to be meticulous. They're going to do their due diligence. They're going to do this the right way. They want a young offensive coach to build around guys like Brock, around Ashton, and whoever we take at number one, presumably is going to be quarterback. Let's do it the right way. Let's do it the right way. Come on. With the first pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana. We kind of know where we're going right now. I know people have been talking about these draft picks, and again, you know what today is? It's Mock Monday. So, gonna do something a little bit different here. I am not going to I'm not going to do an actual mock draft live. I actually did one before we went live. Full detail. You guys are not gonna be disappointed with this. Let me just see what you guys said. Not much yet. I'm going through the wildcard recap. We just talked about Matt LaFleur potentially staying with Green Bay on an extension. Yes, and Schefter said Harbaugh has talked with the Raiders as well. Yes, it is out there, ladies and gentlemen. Harbaugh has spoken with the Raiders. Both Harbaugh brothers in the AFC West, it'd be crazy. Wild, wild west again, pretty much. All right. The Bears with Caleb are unpredictable. That's a fact. And funny enough, I went through a couple of my predictions. I didn't place any bets or anything, but I had a couple of predictions for the wildcard weekend. And I had the Panthers actually surprising the Rams, almost happened. I did take the Bears to beat the Packers. I know people are like, why? And we got one of our residents here, and Joe, salute to him, who is a huge Packers fan. But yeah, I did see the Bears winning that game, and they did, so good for them. But let me get back into this. I'm gonna pull this up on the screen for you guys to see. The mock draft. This is gonna, I guess we can call this one mock 2.0. And I think you guys are really going to like where we went here. The grade itself is actually the best grade. I know we've only been doing the mock drafts here for a week, but it's probably it is right now as it stands the best mock draft that we have done. So let's go into it. Let me adjust this camera real quickly. 1, 2. I'm trying to find it and I don't see my remote here. Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. Boop. Boop. Yeah, y'all saw too much. You're not supposed to see all that. But it is what it is. All right. So here we go with mock draft 2.0. And you guys see it from start to finish. The last one I'm gonna have to drag up a little bit for you guys. But we're gonna talk about this in full detail in terms of pros, cons, and everything. Again, right now, PFF has this specific mock draft an A. Best one I've done so far. I love what I've done with it. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to go through this breakdown real quickly of each and every single one of these players. And you guys let me know overall what you would grade this draft realistically. And there is some key analysis as it pertains to why these picks were made. So we're going to go through everything right now. And of course, again, I'll do it again for you guys. I'm going to probably keep doing this. With the first pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana. Now, the 2025 Heisman Trophy winner who threw for 14 touchdowns and 0 interceptions through the early part of the season, his stock has risen to a potential number 1 overall pick due to his poise and leadership. We still have not heard anything as it pertains to Dante Moore, the quarterback out of Oregon, declaring for the draft. But again, after what we saw, that performance last Friday night, I don't think he's a guy that the Raiders are really going to show that much interest in. Pros for Fernando: 6'5", 225 pounds with elite decision-making ball placement and a quick release. He is highly effective at reading defenses and shows great anticipation on throws into small windows. His cons: he tends to hold the ball too long, leading to unnecessary sacks. Scouts note that he lacks an elite deep ball, which we've heard about, we've talked about, we don't really give a fuck about. We saw a lot of his throws the other night, and he's pretty spot on. Relatively short track record of high-level success. So again, miss me with that bullshit. We're going to go to number 2 now. With the 36th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Elijah Surratt, wide receiver, Indiana. Recorded nearly 1,000 yards in 2024 and led his team in touchdowns despite injury. He's currently projected as a day 2, round 3 selection. Reliable, big body target, 6'2", 209 pounds. That's a true number 1 right there. High rate of converting catches into first downs or touchdown. He has a history of production across multiple programs, including James Madison and Indiana. His cons: he lacks elite burner speed and is viewed more as a high-end complementary piece than a deep threat. Well, the guy that we did draft last year in the second round, Dante Thornton, is a deep threat, so let's put the two of them together and see what the fuck happens. Moving on, 3rd round. With the 67th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Chandler Rivers, cornerback, Duke. 2024 first team all ACC selection with 3 interceptions. His stock has risen from mid-round prospect to a firm 3rd round projection. His pros: explosive athlete with top-tier body control and ball tracking skills. He is a disciplined, savvy corner who can play outside or in the slot. So you could throw him in one way or the other, outside or throw him in the slot. His cons: undersized at 5'10", which causes struggles in press coverage and when disengaging from large blockers in the run game. It's a corner that we could definitely need, or a corner that we do need. And we're going to talk more about that as we do more of a breakdown and analysis in terms of why we went this route. Let's move on to number 4. And this is a pick that you guys have been high on as well. With the 102nd pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker, Texas Tech. Highest graded defensive player for Texas Tech in 2024 with an 82.5 PFF grade projected in the 3rd to 4th round range. Pros, elite football IQ. He was a former quarterback, so he could definitely read the field. With a high motor and a knack for forcing turnovers, 7 forced fumbles in 2025. The only con, really, he's slightly undersized at 6'1", 230 pounds, which could lead to him being washed out by interior linemen at the point of attack. That's kind of a questionable con, but take it as it goes. But I know this is a linebacker that we got to see firsthand. Dude is a dog. I would love to address that linebacking room and definitely address it with Jacob Rodriguez. Our second pick in the 4th round, with the 117th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, Las Vegas Raiders select J.C. Davis, tackle out of Illinois. Senior Bowl invitee and a 3rd-team All Big Ten selection, projected as a Day 3 developmental tackle who may kick inside to guard. Heavy-handed, aggressive, downhill blocker with a natural anchor and quick first step. His cons: lacks functional length and lateral quickness, struggles with misdirection and wide edge rushers. We know that we got a whole bunch of guys last year for the offensive line: Caleb Rogers, Charles Grant. Whoever the next head coach is and whoever the offensive line coach is going to be are going to be the guys that are going to assess them and see where they best fit. Are these guys going to be starters in their second year? Who's to say? But definitely makes sense for us to, again, address the offensive line and build up the depth room for the offensive line. Our third pick in the 4th round, with the 134th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, Las Vegas Raiders select Michael Taft, safety out of Texas. Call me a homer, call me whatever you want. I really don't give a fuck. AP second-team All-American in 2024 after a 78-tackle, 2-interception season. Stock ranges between a Day 2 to an early Day 3. Extremely productive, and I've talked about him. He is a thumper. He loves to hit. He's got great angle pursuit instincts. 222 career tackles. Not always viewed as a major athletic project. Some questions about his ceiling at the next level. I think he could be that guy. And realistically, I don't want to put race in the equation, but why the hell not? Look at some of these white defensive backs that really have shown some things in the NFL over the last couple of years. Look at a guy like Cooper DeJean. I think Michael Taft could be that guy, most definitely. Again, he loves to hit. He loves to be involved all the way around. So he's definitely a guy that I would love to have here in the silver and black. That's that type of attitude, that type of mentality that the silver and black need. We move on to the 5th round. With the 174th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, Las Vegas Raiders select Xavier Harris, defensive tackle, Mississippi. A massive interior defender, which the size alone, no Diddy if necessary. 6'7", 320 plus pounds. Ideal NFL size for a nose tackle or 3 technique. Possesses a lightning quick first step and significant natural strength. I'm 1,000% here for it. The cons: can play with poor balance on his toes too much and needs to use his arm length more consistently to shed blocks. Don't think he'll have a problem developing that at the next level. Definitely a guy, again, that size alone, sign me up for a defensive tackle with us. Let's go to the 6th round. With the 181st pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Parker Brailsford, center out of Alabama. Now, I went this route because I do not know what they plan, whoever the head coach, whoever the offensive line coach is. I don't know what the plan is for JPJ in his 3rd year in the league. Now, are you going to put him back at center or are you going to keep him at guard? Me personally, I wouldn't mind keeping him at guard, and I've already expressed that a couple of times and my reasons why, and they're legit. Here's the stats and stock on Parker Brailsford. 2025 permanent team captain and all SEC 3rd team selection, viewed as a top 3 center prospect, likely going late Day 2 or early Day 3. Exceptional agility and speed for second level, draws comparisons to Tyler Linderbaum. Now look, right there, we could save money. We could go the route of free agency and sign Tyler Linderbaum. What is it going to cost us? Or you can get a guy at the center position, draft him this late in the draft. And again, top 3 center prospect. Why the fuck not? I'm here for it. One thing that they're knocking is significant lack of length and weight, undersized for the NFL interior. We've heard that story before about other centers. Some have succeeded, others not so much. I wouldn't mind taking the flyer on the kid, especially here in the 6th round. Next up, with the 184th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Kyle Lewis, linebacker, Pitt. Now, 2024 Sporting News first team All-American with a massive 101 tackle sophomore season, projected as a day 1 or day 2 talent. High-level pass coverage skills for a linebacker, dangerous blitzer, and sideline-to-sideline pursuit speed. Undersized between 220 and 225, making it difficult to stack and shed blocks in the run game. Now, we talked about that with Jacob Rodriguez. Same right here. But at the same time, you can't teach speed. And that speed alone will be able to get you past some of these quote-unquote massive interior linemen at the next level. So he's definitely another guy I want to keep an eye on, another linebacker I would love to have here. And our last but not least pick in the 7th round, with the 219th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ethan Anawanwa, guard, Ohio State. Senior transfer from Rice with 51 career games played. Massive frame. You know how some of these dudes in here like those thick frames. 6'7", 331 pounds with extensive experience in the trenches. Cons, limited mobility, primarily a depth piece or developmental wall on the interior. We shall see how that plays out. Now, in terms of the key roster analysis as a result of these picks, look, this is supposed to be our messiah. This is supposed to be our savior in Fernando Mendoza. He is the number 1 consensus. It's a home run move for us. The Raiders, we obviously locked up this first overall pick. He already has in the playoffs 8 touchdowns and an 86.1% completion rate. That's fucking insane. The trenches, we address the offensive line late. We have a desperate need at offensive tackle right now. JC Davis is a solid start with that pick. Some analysts suggest that the team might need 2 new starters. We shall see what happens. The Crosby factor. Significant buzz about Max being traded to the Lions or the Cowboys to gain more draft capital. If Max is somehow moved, which I don't see it happening, the picks of Xavier Harris and Akeem Mesidor, they become even more vital to maintain the pass rush. And then the secondary stability, which is one that, corner out of Duke. How does that sound? How does that make sense? Chandler Rivers fills one of the top 3 needs for us at cornerback position. You extend Eric Stokes. You pair him with Eric Stokes. It would give us the most stable cornerback duo in years. Sign me up for it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me get back to the chat. Let me get back to the solo screen. If I can find that shit. Hold on. Solo dolo. Hold up. There we go. Let me see. Let me get back here. I'm catching up with you guys in the chat. I'm sorry. And salute to the 210 we have in here right now. Webb is the next best thing. Hell no to Harbaugh. No. Let's see. Salute. No, we just went through, like, I feel like doing what I just did actually took up quite some time, but you didn't miss much. Can play both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Hey, throw him in as a fullback every once in a while. Ron Justice, salute. I'm catching up to you guys right now. I don't think I did. I could have sworn I went through everything. Hold on. Let me go back real quick. No, I took the tackle JC Davis at 117. I took JC Davis at 117. Make sure. I don't want no white safety. Damn, Steppa. What about Stu? Hold on. What about Stu? That's fucked up. Don't get Stu to come in here and curse you out. We need Linderbaum. Okay. Okay. Yo, y'all are fucked up. And I'm looking at you guys in the chat now with that shit. Look, if we can get Linderbaum, let's make sure that we get him quick, fast, and in a hurry. Salute to our resident meathead, Rob Cisneros, Mr. L.A. Rob.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother. Next season, I expect rookies to play. Pete Carroll is so stubborn. You know what, Leaky? But guess what? He's not the only coach that's done that with us when they were a head coach in Vegas. That jackass, Mr. McDouchebag himself, did the same exact thing with certain players, including Aiden O'Connell. You didn't develop him. Oh, he's not ready. You're the one who drafted him, right? Nah. Certain coaches do that shit, and it's really, really annoying. I think I'm actually caught up with the chat. So I'm looking. I didn't see anything in terms of grades from you guys, but let me know overall what your grade is for that mock draft. And I gave you full analysis and in-depth details into each player as well, but give me your overall grade for that draft. Oscar, it depends on who the OC is going to be. Honest to God. For me, it's going to be who the OC is going to be. Look, second longest tenure coach, 18 years with Baltimore. He's won a Super Bowl as well. It all depends for me exactly who he's trying to bring on board with him as well. And ultimately, and I've said this to you guys, the decision is going to be made in another 2 weeks. Mark my words on that. It'll be similar, like right around the same time that Pete Carroll was hired last year. So don't be surprised if you hear something in the coming 13, 14 days, realistically. Ron Justice said a B+. Edgar Sosa said an A-. Ben Bad said a B. Do you think we should get a fullback for Genty? Look, fullbacks are so... let's see. I'm trying to think the best way to word this right now. They're very rare, man. Dying breed is not the correct term, but there is like a handful of fullbacks in the NFL right now. So I don't see that. I think we need a second running back and have a complimentary 1-2 punch. But no, he doesn't need a fullback. Shit, just throw Aki Tassi in there as a fullback then if that's the case. Wasted actually brought his name to my attention the other day. I still need to look at some tape on him. He wants $20 million a year and $10 million for his staff. Wait, what? Is that, how accurate is that? How accurate is that? Trade for running back Trey Benson out of Arizona. A, wish we moved up in the third to tackle and get a run back in the fourth. Are you certain? No. Then no. No. Absolutely not. I doubt that's anywhere remotely true, especially knowing who we have in the building. There's no way that's valid at all. And again, you know the media is going to do all sorts of shit because you see it now. And Graf talked about this on his show earlier. I saw the video over the weekend with this asshat that was a former Jet scout and his ranking and grade for Mendoza. Like, dude, don't throw stones in a glass house. You worked for the fucking Jets. QB purgatory #1. You stop. That's why you are a former scout. But I'm telling you now, the media is going to try to do so much sideways shit over the next few months to try to downplay Mendoza, try to keep him away from Vegas. Mark my words. And right now, all the shit that you guys are seeing all over the place, this is what they do. They constantly want to shit on this organization. They constantly want to watch us, because I saw this firsthand from ESPN last week. Those that watched live last week, go back to what I said in terms of Tom Brady and what he should really be focusing on right now. Not even 24 hours later, Mad Dog wants to sit there and pretty much repeat the exact same shit that I said. We know you're watching now. Get some real people that know their shit and bring them into the facilities then. Stop ripping my shit off. Fuck you. Dominique 5, you're 1,000% accurate on that. Roy, you're not lying. Like, some of these people, I swear to God, they watch us and then they want to regurgitate because they think that's going to get them clicks, that's going to get them views. And at the same time, want to make some asinine journalistic bullshit, create these articles to cause mass hysteria and get more clicks. Nah, I'm not with it. 74 likes, 75 likes. Get those likes up. Get to 100 already, y'all. Let's go. What are we doing? Black and grayed out. What up? If you guys have any questions, y'all are more than welcome to ask right now. If you guys want me to open up the vault line, I'm trying to get somebody to pull on up if they're available. They technically are supposed to be available right now, at least for another hour. That's why I kind of got on early. I was planning on doing this at 4:30 my time. Keep them up, keep them up, keep them up. Let's go. Salute to the 249. We're on X. We're on YouTube. If you're on X, make sure to follow over there, but also come on over to YouTube, Raider Nation News Today. Hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing. I believe last time I checked, we're at like 10,730. Keep that shit going up, man. I know that the off season's here, but just because the off season's here doesn't mean I'm not going to find ways to be on for each and every single one of y'all. Even if it's once a week, I told you we are going to keep this installment of the Mock Mondays. I'll be here, man. Swear I didn't take Mr. Jones' car in 97. Now in 07, that's a different story. Yo, I'm done. I'm done. John B. Salute. We've already been on for over 30 minutes. We went through a lot in that half hour. So let's see. Let me see if there's any updated news from X, from Adam Schefter, or anybody else right now. Damn, my legs are killing me. This was 7 minutes ago from Ian Rappaport. At least 4 months was the recovery time for Joe Alt, which should give him more than enough time to be ready for training camp, but a significant ankle injury. Let's see. And we already talked about Harbaugh. He's already been conducting preliminary and extensive phone calls with the Giants, Titans, Browns, Raiders, and Cardinals. And the Falcons announced an official interview with him. But there's nothing else at this point to talk about. The Browns requested an interview with Jaguars OC Grant Udinski for their head coaching position. Just 30 years old, Udinski has risen rapidly through the coaching ranks. Now his first look for a head coaching job. It's crazy how younger and younger and younger these guys are getting and getting these head coaching positions. And I definitely heard that alert. So what do we got here? We got a new member. Salute.
Excellence.
Salute to AC. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. I also noticed that Max Crosby's been posting stuff Raider related. Is all the haters gonna shut the hell up? Thank you, because I don't see it happening. I don't see him being traded. I really don't. Do you feel like we should have a bridge for Mendoza or start Mendoza off the rip? If so, who should we look at? I've talked about Malik Willis. That's the only person I would even remotely consider right now. I really cannot think of another person as a bridge gap right now. Like people could be like, oh, what about Aiden O'Connell? What about him? What about him? That was a guy that I said from the jump, from the time we drafted him, he was going to be a backup. He was going to be a career backup quarterback. So I don't know. Malik Willis is my guy right now, in all reality. I don't know why it's showing up as brand new though, bro. Indiana and Miami, yes. National championship game. Me and Graf will be live next Monday night for it. Barring any type of circumstance, but we will be live for that game and giving it to you in its entirety. So definitely make sure to pull on up next Monday night for that. Let's see if I'm missing anybody else. Was it that loud? My bad, Q. I wouldn't mind starting him day one though, but look, we've seen that movie before when quarterbacks have been thrown to the wolves right away. First round picks that is. So we'll see what happens. Udinski will be a head coach real soon. 30 years old, man. What's your predicted record if Malik starts for us? Q, it's a good question. In all reality, better than this year's. I would have to say 7, 8 wins. In reality, I have to wait and see though. Again, you guys know I'm not one that likes to predict records until I actually see a full 53-man roster on the field playing the first 3, 4 games of this season. Then I can sit there, I could assess, I can break down everything and be like, all right, yeah, this is where we're finishing. And like, saw what happened this season. So I'm not crazy, right? Can't let age scare us. Remember? No. That's what I'm saying. No. It's not. And for me, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. I'm not saying being that young is a bad thing. I think that it's great that we're seeing this new generation, these new innovative coordinators learning under certain trees and getting those opportunities. I think it's a great thing. I think it's an amazing thing to see kids this young. And I'm saying kids, I know it sounds weird for me because I'm almost 40, but for me, like 29, 30 year olds as head coaches, like I think that those are kids. And I think it's great that they're getting these opportunities. I really, really do. I really do. People really trust Malik Willis to be a starter day one. He played like in Green Bay. We're looking to have somebody that can play a full 60 minutes and not do fuckboy shit like Geno Smith. We're looking for a guy that can lead an offense. We're looking for a guy that, again, would be a bridge gap. That's it. That's it. My prediction for this past season after week 3 or week 4, and anybody in here will tell you the same thing. I said 2-15, 3-14. And you will have people right now in this chat that will co-sign that I did say that. I'm going to put this comment up and I'm going to wait for my co-signers to agree. Is there like a sleeper coach that we should be aware of? Not really, at least not in my opinion. Like I gave you guys a list and I only talked about 3 specific coaches last Monday, and then other names have been thrown out there. I talked about Craig Signetti, which if we were to do that, the buyout would be $15 million. He's on a 8-year, $80 million or 8-year, $90 million contract with Indiana. But I thought that would be an amazing pairing. I don't know. Talked about Joe Brady. We've talked about Klint Kubiak. I can't with you, just Ben. Kubiak is a name that's been out there a lot recently, but I gave you my reasonings behind these other coaches. I had Brian Flores out there. You're not hearing much about Brian Flores right now with us. So I don't know. I do not know. Omni, welcome back, bro. I haven't been saying this since week 3 earlier in the season, going 2-15. Yep. Let's be real. Had those circumstances in KC not happened with losing quarterbacks in back-to-back weeks, we probably would have fucking lost that game. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, AC. I don't know if there's much more to talk about. I'm gonna try to call this clown. Give me 1 second. See if he can pull up. This is going to sound incredibly awkward, but I'm going to have to stretch this out. Pause. For at least 10 minutes, and we might have a guest pull up. And you guys are definitely going to want to stick around for this guest. Like, I promise you, you guys are not going to be disappointed with this guest today. Um, it's just a matter of waiting. And no, I don't want to give away who it is, but yeah, just stick around for a little bit, guys. I'm sorry. If you want, I'll even open up the vault line for a little bit. Hold on. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything. And look, I've talked about Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator. Yes. Am I saying no as a head coach? No, I'm not saying that. But look, if he's not getting a head coaching, if he's not getting a head coach position somewhere, bring him in as a DC, please. Because I know, like if Brian Flores decides to, or if he doesn't get a head coaching position, I could only imagine what the hell it's going to take for us to yank him away from Minnesota. So I just, at this point, yeah, Raheem Morris is a guy on my list right now as a defensive coordinator, most definitely. I would love to have Brian Flores. If we cannot get, if he's not hired as a head coach anywhere, if we don't decide to go with him as a head coach, I would 1,000% love to have him here as a defensive coordinator. Most definitely. OC, get me Mike McDaniel. Kubiak, Dable is an OC as well. You can give me McDaniel. You can give me Dable as OCs. Okay. We'll see. It has. PJ, and I said that before. I'm not hearing the name right now. I'm not hearing it as the head coach now. Like, it was looking like just last Monday, he was kind of like a front runner. And we had talked about him. We talked about Dable as the OC. Again, if he's not getting a head coaching position somewhere, I don't know what it's going to take to get him away from Minnesota. But by any means necessary, try to get him as our defensive coordinator moving forward. McDaniel better than Dable. Like I said, OC, yes. I don't want him as a head coach because like it would just be too much attention on him. And I'm not trying to have a head coach like that. I'm sorry. Hold on. Did starting AOC as regular season break him? Did it hurt him or help? I don't like sitting to learn. Roy, the thing is, and I've talked about this. That was all Mike McDaniel. I'm sorry. That was all Josh McDaniel. I definitely had the names wrong before. That was all Josh McDaniel's doing. You drafted the kid. You didn't fucking develop him. You had him as an emergency backup up until, what was it, the Chicago game? If I remember correctly. Something like that. He was a fucking asshole for that. And that's the same thing we were talking about before, doing a comparison with Pete Carroll as well, doing something very similar with not playing a lot of his rookies. You caused the problems you did in terms of moving JPJ for whatever strange ass reason. It is what it is. I like Flores, but would not like to have legal clouds. Need to get the points. So all right, Lewis. Very valid point. Kubiak head coach, Davis Webb offensive coordinator, or Mike LaFleur. I'm sorry, you mean Matt LaFleur. For those that don't know and didn't see the news earlier, and again, Graf was a guy that is very high on Matt LaFleur. There are talks right now that the Green Bay Packers are looking to try to lock him in on an extension, which I kind of saw from like last week. I had spoken to some people about that, and they're like, nah, he's not getting fired. They're going to look to try to shore him up for another couple of years. Now, granted, again, this season, a lot of his star players are plagued by injuries. They did make it to the playoffs, unfortunately, giving up 18 points late. They lost. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. I'm really, really sorry about that. You know, I never get calls during a show, so I really apologize for that 1,000 times over. Nobody grooms quarterbacks better than Dable. The facts are out there. And this is why I would like to have Dable there as an offensive coordinator. Or the NFL versus Flores lawsuit is heading to Supreme Court. Oh, shit. AOC didn't start. He was thrown in a game. No practice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that was the point I was trying to make before. Kubiak head coach. I saw this one already. Pittsburgh letting their coach go depending on the outcome tonight. Do you really think that's going to happen, though? Because apparently there's reports out there that Rodgers would return next year to Pittsburgh. Super Bowl, I would love Flores as DC, not head coach. Okay. DC sounds decent. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm catching up with you guys now. Yes, and that's another thing that I saw that video. It was the middle of last week. It was actually after we did the live, and I talked about Flores, I talked about Brady, I talked about Signetti, and I was just like, oh shit. But the thing is, I think I want to say it would be different if he is a DC, not a head coach. We have to see. Ultimately, we have to see how it plays out. Go get LaFleur if you want him this weekend. I ain't tripping on. Again, he's been in the playoffs how many times? And that team has battled injuries this entire year. Definitely not, AO. Definitely not. I don't think Flores has what it takes to lead men. Really? So, somebody put some shit up about Flores on X last week. And this was before I saw the video as well. But this is the one thing that I said. Because he technically is off that Belichick tree. Matt Patricia tried to be Belichick. He failed. Josh McDaniel on 2 separate occasions tried to be Bill Belichick. Failed. Brian Daboll, in a sense, no, he really did do it. Tried to be Belichick with the Giants. Failed. Flores didn't do that. Flores has his own attitude, his own identity. And some people like it, some people don't. But he's not trying to follow anybody. He's his own person. Now, look, the whole thing with with Miami was years ago. It was years ago. He went to Pittsburgh. He worked with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is another dude that's just a different cat. And he is one of those coaches I absolutely respect the shit out of. If opportunity presented itself to bring him in, Mike Tomlin would be a guy on my list. And people are probably going to go off on me in the chat right now when I say that. But oh well. Minnesota, same thing. Like, working as a coordinator, but it's not. I think that I still believe, like, yeah, he could be a DC. I don't see him being a head coach again, though. That's just my opinion. He said Dable can come on to Bama. Yeah, you guys are on the front of the struggle bus right now. Respectfully. Roll over, Tide. I'm sorry, Q. I'm sorry. You threw that one right down the middle of the plate, bro. Yo, that's a fact. And I'm telling you now, I really hope that somebody comes up to do a biopic on Mike Tomlin. They got to use Omar Epps as Mike Tomlin, though. Q, you starting your shit, bro? Just Raiders, baby. Salute. Appreciate you. I'm waiting for this guest. He said 10 minutes. I don't even know how long it's been. I'm already getting a little agitated. Let's see. Yo, that was 10 minutes. All right. Time's up. He better pull up. I'm gonna be really pissed if he don't. Oh man, you guys are gonna be surprised, but you guys are also gonna be happy if this guest pulls up. Oh, I'm great. It's Monday. We did our mock. I'm pretty sure you just came in. We did a recap of the wild card. We did a mock draft. Well, I had a mock draft done. and I did a breakdown of every single player. What else did we talk about, guys? We're talking about the head coaching search right now. We're talking about our coordinate, who could be the coordinators as well. Hugs in here too. Where's he at? Where the hell is Hug at? Why is it I don't see? Hold on. Is Hug in here? Now I'm waiting. We got 104 likes. Get them up. No Diddy if necessary. We got 254 of you guys in here. I'm waiting for this guest. If he doesn't pull up, we're going to pull the plug on this. We've already been on for almost an hour. Wow. And we definitely covered a lot in that time. Jesus. Look, I got my teams. I have our Raiders. I am a Dodgers fan too, so I'm happy with them, obviously. But the Mets, they haven't won a World Series since I was 9 months old. Did grow up watching the Knicks. They're actually intriguing to watch again. I don't know. Tom would be solid. I would want to know his plans at developing Mendoza. Did a good job with the. Hmm. Somebody, somebody in here has to know. Where is Byron Leftwich right now? Oh, you guys were asking, was it Hug? No, it's not Hug. Where is Byron Leftwich right now, if anybody knows? Like, I'm not even being funny about that. And that was a name that we heard around for about 2-3 years. Who is he with right now? What is he doing right now? And if nobody knows, I will Google it in a second. He's in Colorado. Oh, God. Dude, get the fuck out of there now. Get out of there now. Come back to the NFL. Oh, my God. Really? Yeah. Byron, yeah, you should come back as an offensive coordinator or a QB coach somewhere. But yeah, oh God, yeah, no, 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 uh-uh. That sucks. Respectfully, that sucks. That was a name that was constantly thrown out there for like the last 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. Like, that's crazy. You talk about regressing. Jesus. I can't get over that right now. Yeah, but do we see how piss poor that team was this past season? Like, I don't even know how they expect to turn it around. And realistically and respectfully, like, uh, nobody had eyes on Colorado for a very long time. It was one of those teams that you had on your schedule. It was like, yeah, we want to kick the dog shit out of them, and then insert Coach Prime, and everybody was on the hype train for it. And yeah, I did they even play in a bowl game? Did they even play in a bowl game? That's fucked up. No, Hugdies is not my guest, and I'm still waiting for this dude to pull up. If he does pull up, like, I sent him the link. I'm waiting. I'm about to call him. Hold up. All right. Apparently, I got to wait another 5 minutes, and I told him if this guest doesn't pull up in 5 minutes, then we're ending the show. Unfortunately. Let's see. Colorado got head coach from Sac State. Offense, they're gonna turn shit around this year. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I salute to Sac State because I had one of our longtime viewers on the track and field team doing, I think he was doing shot put if I remember correctly. I know I haven't seen him on in a long time too. Don't do that to me because I do have the mic on. Don't do no audio. Tomlin head coach, McDaniels OC. Good God. I fucking wish. I wish. That would be insane. Fix it. What up? I'm not saying the third name. Mokes, Raiders, Dodgers, grew up in Lincoln Heights, LA. My homeboy, Robert Bebo Castillo, played for the Fernando Valenzuela Dodgers, team that beat the Yankees in the Bronx. There we go. I'm telling you, Fernando Mania is coming to Vegas. Just you wait. Roy tried to assemble the Monstars. That's a fact, but that would be dope. That would be, you know, look, they'll talk about it. They'll talk about it on NFL Network. They'll talk about it on ESPN. They'll talk about it for like a week, and then it's just gonna be like, same old Raiders. Watch, like you know how they are. You know how they downplay shit. That would be insane, though. Shit, if we're doing all that, you know who our DB coach should be? Troy Polamalu. Why the fuck not? If we're gonna create a whole Monstars coaching staff, Troy Polamalu. Why the fuck not? Raider Rich, what up? Salute, salute, salute. I'm waiting for this dude to pull up. He has the link. He has 5 minutes. He actually has less than 5 minutes now. If you don't pull up by 4:45, I'm done. Woodson, I think, has ownership with the Browns now, so that wouldn't work. Oh, okay. Rod Woodson. Oh my God. Shit, while we're at it, if we're gonna make a whole staff like that, we might as well get Ray Lewis as a linebacker coach. All right, he's telling me to send it to him here. Give me 1 second. No diddy. You guys are gonna be in for a good one, though. I promise you that. Troy too busy make a Head and Shoulders commercial. Still haven't been a minute, brother. 2 questions. Who do you want SpyTech to hire? Who do you think SpyTech will hire? Salute to you, Van City. There's so many names out there. I like the idea. I like Kubiak most definitely. Again, Flores was a name that was talked about, but it was thrown out. It seems to be fizzled out right now. Rod Woodson was already a coach for us before. We've had coaches that were here with us before, and we brought them back. Legitimate experience, man. Legitimate experience. I had to coach from different levels and also earn your way through the ranks because you have people that start off. Hold up. All right, hold on. We have our guest here now. Nope, that's the wrong one. I gotta bring him on. How the fuck do I do this now? Nope, that ain't it. Fuck. Hold on, dude. This is gonna piss me off now that. Guys, look at who it is. Look, it's our guy. Hold on. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. I don't really care. You're back. You guys asked for it. You guys are getting it.
Pause.
It's the Hammer and Joe Show. The Hammer and Joe Show.
What's cracking?
What's good, man? Welcome back.
Thank you. You know, it's been a minute. Took some time off. You know, chilling. It's been a busy little couple weeks for your boy, but it's all good. Hey, I want to say fuck you very much because I have a badass headache, and you know you want to hang up on a boy. Like it's all good.
Salute to Demokes because he was the first one to guess it and get it right. Yes, Hammer and Joe Show is back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is a beautiful feeling. And see, people say, yo, we missed you. Like, there you go.
Miss you guys too, man. You got, hey, I ain't gonna lie, you have the best people that rock with you, bro. I fuck with everybody, so appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Hopefully, you guys had a good holiday season. You guys didn't get sick and everything. You guys had a good time with your fam. Hey, you see that Harbaugh already talked to the Raiders?
Yes. See how low key that shit was done too, though. Like that's the thing that gets me right now with that.
That's how it needs to be. Like you know, I was disappointed in what happened with Pete, only because you know I hold Pete Carroll in high regard as a human being and as a coach. And looking back, maybe I let a little bit of emotions get into it, my thought process with him.
Right.
But you know, if you're gonna do a rebuild, you got to go all in, and whoever you bring in has got to be all in on it. And if Harbaugh's up for that challenge, you got a guy that has been very successful. If it's not him, whoever it is that you bring in has got to be a guy that's going to be up for it and here for the long haul because these one and dones, and you can't have that and expect to have success.
There we go. Now that looks better. Now we got your whole name, and the camera actually looks really good. This is great.
It's official now.
So what are your thoughts? I know you and I talked, but you know, people got to hear it too. What are your thoughts with Coach LaFleur potentially staying with Green Bay?
You know, I'm in the minority where I think he's going to be back. I don't think he leaves. I think what's going to come down to is a number. And let me give a hypothetical situation. If I was him and I've had 78 wins in my first 7 seasons, or close to 80, whatever it is, and my agent were to go to ownership or the president or the at the time is how it's structured. There is the Ed Policy has the decision making, even though Brian Gutekunst is the GM. But yeah, they go to them and try to get a deal done or try to start negotiations earlier than what they want. And let's say they said no, let's wait till I want to kind of see how this season plays out. I'd be kind of ticked off about it, low key, and and thing is, I think he goes back to Green Bay, but there has to be a change of coaching staff over there. Like, if you look at their offensive lines played like dog shit most of the year. That's their offensive coordinator, Adam Stenovich, and Coach Luke Butkiss. That's what they do. So they need to be gone. Rich Bisaccia, for as great as job as he did as an interim head coach for the Raiders, the Packers special teams is ranked near the bottom of the NFL since even before he was there. We've gotten a little bit better. I think Rich needs to go. So if he's going to say there's going to be changes, but at the same time, Pat McAfee brought up a really, really good point today that his open market value is probably going to be more than what he'll get paid from Green Bay. So if he knows that and he wants that big payday, they may say, hey, we're just not going to pay you this and trade him away. And I think it would be a trade. In that case, Miami's a team to watch with John Eric Sullivan was the right hand man of Brian Gutekunst down in Miami now running the show. And I said this to you, Hammer, and I said this to you off air, and I'll say it here. There is a part of me that really, because if you remember last year when Brady was calling Lion games, he was on Ben Johnson's nutsack. Tough. He's like that on Jeff Hafley's Green Bay's defense this year. So, I mean, I think that'd be a guy to keep an eye on, Jeff Hafley. Wait, what's guy? He did it with most of his damage with McCarthy's guys. No, he did it. Like we could. If you're gonna talk about Packers, you understand. I watched that team more than any team in the league. No, there's only a handful of those guys left, and Rodgers won 2 MVPs with LaFleur as the head coach. So that's as many as he ran with McCarthy. So the negative about LaFleur is some game management, to be honest. And going back and painfully watching the game on Saturday night, from Saturday night, he was a little too aggressive in the game versus maybe taking his foot off the gas a little bit. He was trying to drive the ball down the field a little bit versus maybe taking some dink and dunks and moving the chains. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I'll tell you what, if he's available, he's the number one candidate anywhere. If you can get him, if he were to be available, would he want to be a part of a rebuild in Vegas? I think that's the question. I mean, he's so accustomed to winning games and winning right away. Does he want to take that time to do that? I think that's a question that only he can answer.
Let's see. Richie B not going to change anything. Let's see if I'm missing anything else. Take a look at LaFleur's resume. That's my point.
I don't get it. He said he did most of his he's won a lot of games with the group that is here now. Jordan Love's development into being an elite quarterback, because that's what he is because of Matt LaFleur. Those receivers, none of them were there with Mike McCarthy. Josh Jacobs wasn't there with Mike McCarthy. Nobody on that offensive line was there with Mike McCarthy. So that's not the case, Ricky. So I respectfully disagree with you.
It's close between Ben Johnson and Kyle Shanahan for Coach of the Year. Yeah. But ultimately, go ahead.
No, that's true. I mean, and there's somebody else too. I forget who it was. It's a three dog race. I was talking with Sue Cravens about that. With me, and I were talking about that earlier today. Who did we say was the other squad? I don't know. I have a headache. I forgot. But yeah, you know what? Bro, my head is fucking pounding. My sinuses are killing me right now. And that's the thing. So in talking about LaFleur in general, you can use Green Bay's injuries. Micah Parsons. I mean, Nate Hobbs went out. Zach Tom. A couple receivers throughout the year. Devontae Wyatt. And that hurts the team. But San Francisco lost Fred Warner, and they got a guy for practice squad. And yesterday, your tight end blows out his Achilles, yet you find a way to win in Philly. You got to give me credit for that.
Vrabel, bye, Eagles, bye.
Yeah. Do I think you're really bad, the Raiders? I don't know about really bad, but I mean, you earned the number one pick for a reason. We're just going to be real about it, right? But that's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all, because Mendoza's the truth. Mendoza's the real deal. I watched about 6 games this year of him. I watched the last one against Oregon a little more closely and a little more tipsy than what I normally am. And that first series alone, he made 3 throws, including the back shoulder, that were like, all right, like, I've seen enough. Ball comes out good, clean. He's super accurate. I mean, at one point he had 7 touchdowns to 3 incompletions in the playoffs. for 2 games. Like, that's just crazy. So that's the quarterback of the future. Lock him in, roll with him. Now you just got to figure out who the guy is that's gonna develop him. And but the Raiders got a lot of work. I mean, you got to rebuild the offensive line. You're gonna have to rebuild the defensive line. I actually believe they have to make a decision on Max Crosby on whether to move forward with him or to move him this year for the long term. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I know nobody wants to hear me say that, but it's the reality of it. And I think Max is a cool person. I have no issue with Max. But there are some people that felt disrespected by they're going to shut you down, and then you post a video of you jumping around and playing basketball, but then you have to have surgery and you got a brace on your knee that would say there's a little more work done than what was publicly announced. So, there's some people in the organization that are upset about that and felt it was disrespectful toward the organization. And then I asked this, and I ask you this, Hammer. I think we talked about it briefly last week when this got brought up when I was still in Cali, and I'll ask this to everybody on in Raider Nation. Let's say Dallas were to offer you 2 1s and a 2, a 1 this year, a 1 next year, and a second rounder this year. Do you say no to that? I mean, you could get it.
Well, we did a mock last week where we tried trading something like that for Max with Dallas, and Dallas rejected it, and then we tried something very similar with the Eagles, and that worked.
Eagles, I mean, it's good. It won't be. If they were to go down that path, it won't be for less than 2 1s. That's the starting point. Is 2 first-round picks, and there'll probably be maybe a 2 and a 4, and then maybe like a 3 next year going back if that were the case. But for the betterment of creating more depth, and if you're going to rebuild, do you want him here for a rebuild? He's never won but 1 year. He has 1 winning season since being on the Raiders. 1. That was the Versace.
But he wants to be here though too, dude.
Okay, and I want to marry Holly Berry. Or Esther Baxter. And if you know, you know. God. You know what I mean? Like, but at some point, like, there's plenty of guys that want to be there. But again, is it about the player or about the shield? And the long term for it. If they keep him, I got no problem with them keeping him. But at the same time, if you want what's best for everything, best for the team, or we're gonna blow this bad boy up. You have to look at that too. And it sucks. It sucks, but if you're Spy Tech and you're Tom Brady, you have to ask that question. You have to. Because at the end of the day, Dallas really didn't. Jerry Jones may have, but nobody else in Dallas really wanted to trade Micah Parsons. If you're Myles Garrett, you got paid like you got paid. But if you give him a chance to win somewhere, I think now at this point he'd be like, yeah, like I want to go win. I got my money. I'll wait a couple years and I'll ask for a trade.
I'm looking at 2 teams right now. If this in fact does happen, I'm looking at Detroit. I'm looking at Dallas for the services of Max. If that in fact happens, I don't want it to happen, but we'll see.
Why do you say Detroit? Because he's from there?
Yep. Yeah. I think that would definitely shore up that defense too. Imagine him and Hutchinson. That shit would be fucking disturbing.
Do they have the cap space? Do they have the assets?
I think they have the assets. Cap space, I'm not sure.
They have 2 first rounders?
I gotta look back at that shit because again, doing that trade with them, it was kind of interesting because we were trying to trade. Well, I didn't do it with them actually. I take that back. I did that with Philly. So I don't know. We gotta. I'd have to fuck around with that again and look.
I think if there's any team outside of Dallas that I will speculate that he may want to go to, and I don't know if they have the cap space, but they've been known to try to do stuff like this, would be Buffalo.
Hmm.
I think that would. I think that would have some. He'd have some interest in that.
Fucking him and Ed Oliver. God damn, man. I'd be
And then
so
on the other
pissed.
side, you have Josh Allen leading that offense. So you have
Yeah.
one leading on offense, one leading on defense. But I mean, the Raiders have questions. So to answer the question, do I think the Raiders are asked? No, but I think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and I think that's the stuff that, like, if for instance John Harbaugh having a conversation with them, then those are questions that he needs to have answered. And I know people don't want to hear it, but he is the best currently available. Currently, at this very moment, he's the best coach available out there. So you have to
Harbaugh.
have, yeah, he is. He's the most. He's the most. He's got the most accolades. I mean, 18 years in one place. It's just now after 18 years that he wants to be out. But then if you're the Raiders, the tough question you ask him is, who's your OC?
And
Who's your
that's what
DC?
people were asking before, and it's just like, what about Coach Logic, aka Mike McDaniel? Like, but the same could be said with tonight's game, tonight's wild card matchup. If the Steelers are to lose, you think Tomlin is gone? And does that become a new hot commodity with him if he's available?
I don't know if he's gone. I don't know if he wants to coach. I think he may want to take a year off, get into some TV, and then recharge. But again, if Green Bay's job becomes open, that changes a lot for a lot of coaches. That's the job because they're ready to win right now. They're ready. They're ready to go. So that becomes job number one. Then after that, they're kind of everybody's waiting. And right now, everybody's going to wait for John Harbaugh's decision on where he's going to go. So if Tomlin were available, that would be to me if that would be the call I would make if I was Mark Davis, Tom Brady, and Spytech. I know people can say what they want about Tomlin, but you look at the players that play with him or play underneath him, they respect him, they win games, they play tough for him, and then with the ones that are kind of uh, dealing with some issues, we'll say when they leave, they become even more batshit crazy, and they're out the league in a few years. So
Le'Veon, AB. We just talked about that the other day.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, that's one of those things where you want culture, and he can build it. But again, that's another guy. He's never had a losing record in the NFL. Does he want to go somewhere where that changes? Like, or do you want to go young? Like, look, I'm all for this pairing right here in either in two guys, Salah or Jeff Halfley, and Mike McDaniel as the play caller on offense. The other two is the head coaches. I'm all for that because
I
you
want
have
McDaniel here as an OC. I really want McDaniel here as an OC.
and and there's I mean, look, we talked about it briefly. If I'm a head coach and I know I'm not going to get Signetti to come from the collegiate level,
Yeah.
I'm calling Mike Shanahan his OC down there at Indiana, try to get him up. He knows the offense. He calls the offense. He knows what Mendoza likes to do. He's working with them. So that would be another guy if I wanted to bring up, Joe Brady's a guy I would have interest in if I was calling the shots, to be honest. Um, the Don Shula's grandson, Chris, like I've never heard Sean McVay speak highly about a an assistant coach than I have with him. Like he glows about him, and he spent more time developing him. And then their OC or passing game coordinator, not Mike LaFleur, but there's another dude. He's a really smart guy too. Um, there's a good group of young coaches that you can grow, but do you want a young coach for a rebuild, or do you want an established coach? That's the question.
I want to go with I really am starting, like, I'm preferring the youth movement right now. I really am. But again, ultimately, I definitely see a decision being made in the next 2 weeks. We'll probably hear something like on my birthday. Go figure. Like, and we'll definitely do a show on that day. But I have a feeling that by January 28th, there'll be a decision made, most definitely. And yeah. Now, like I said, if they ever decide to do a biopic on Mike Tomlin, Omar Epps will be playing Mike Tomlin. Watch the game tonight. You're going to see him on the screen. You're not going to be able to not see Omar Epps. I've been saying that shit for years. But we've been on, let's see, almost an hour and a half. I got to finish some shit around the house. I had to get you on because it's been way too long and everybody has missed you. People have asked about you for the longest time. I know you got a headache. Go take something else and go lay down. No Diddy if necessary.
I can't lay down. That's why I missed the text, bro. I took a nap and
Old man took a nap.
I did, and bro, and it's not like I did anything crazy yesterday. I was home all day yesterday. It's the weather in Vegas. For those of you that are here, it's cold as shit, and um, for Vegas, it's cold, and my sinuses are killing me. Coming from again, I was in Cali for a month and a half, so being able to go from where it's not desert cold and there's moisture to where there's no moisture and it's just butt ass cold. It's horrible. So um, I took some Claritin and I took some Sudafed, and let's see if that knocks it out. Um, hold on, wait, before you go. This guy says max doesn't equal wins, just like Myles Garrett. These MFs just had 23 sacks in the rounds. That's a valid point. Um, here's the thing too when it comes to the Raiders in where they could go. When you have the $100 million in cap space, the number one pick in the draft, so you have your quarterback, unless he doesn't have to say so, but so you have Mendoza locked in, right? So you have Mendoza. You don't have to worry about your quarterback. I would bring in a veteran guy to back him up, like a guy with some experience. Would it be Aiden O'Connell? Wouldn't it be Pickett? It would be a guy if he goes down. I know he can hold the fort down a little bit, but not expensive. You go build both sides of that line, and wait and see who gets released too. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a surprise or two, but you got to build. You got to build up front. You win by building up front, and it doesn't matter if I mean Pickens is not going to be available, and you don't. And if you're building a culture, you don't want that guy as part of the Raiders at all.
You heard that first here, y'all.
Like straight up. Like there's Mike Tomlin ran you out of Pittsburgh. He didn't even run AB out of Pittsburgh like that. He at least had 7 years. This kid did it in three. Three. And of course he's going to play well. He's got Jera behind him, and Jera's not going to lock him in. Jera's going to treat him like he treats everybody else. So no Pickens in Vegas. AJ Brown ain't going to be traded here. I have a feeling that he's going to end up staying in Philly one more year. Romeo Doubs, is that going to be your big wide receiver signing? And I love Rome. Work with Rome. Is that who it's going to be?
Mm-mm.
He'll catch the tough passes, but he's not a burner. You guys want a legit. I know you got Thornton and Tucker, but who's it going to be? So you build from the inside out, you draft and you develop. And when it comes to, you don't know what you're going to get in this draft. You could draft Mendoza, and then if you make a trade with Dallas, You get another lineman. You know, I'll tell you a guy I love in this draft. I just don't know where I'd play him is Caleb Downs from Ohio State. Every time I watch him, he just splashes on film. And I love Bain from Miami. You want an edge rusher that can do some shit? You want a guy who's Bain is that guy. His tape is crazy. Bain is like and I know he's undersized, little arms. Man, only Sudafed that works in this. Are they red? I got prescription Sudafed.
So Wandale Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they asked for some guys like that. And and here's the thing too. If you think about it, there's going to be teams that are out of the playoffs currently that are, obviously that have a defense, that have a very good defensive line, that some of those guys are going to want out, and they're going to want to go where they could just be starters. Right in your backyard in New York with the Giants. They got 3 of them. So, I mean, hell, you may be able to get a guy, 2 first-rounders, a second, and Sam Williams from the Cowboys, from Max Crosby. Sam Williams could come off the edge. So, I mean, if Dallas wants to make that deal with the Raiders and the Raiders are serious about doing it, I think you owe it to I think if you're Spy Tech, you owe it to the Shield to listen. I think you talk and you talk to Max, because I think there's going to be a change of culture where certain things won't be tolerated any further. And would everybody agree that the top 2 pass rushers are Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons? When Micah Parsons says, "I'm not doing my podcast anymore because I'm here to win ball games," I think that speaks volumes. And I think sometimes, and I know Hammer, you know what it's like to do a show as Johnny. What's up, Johnny Kick Nets? When what it takes to do a show and the work that gets put in, it can get time consuming. Yep. It can get time consuming. So it's one thing to have outside interest, another thing that you have this small time to maximize your earning potential. And Harbaugh don't want $20 million a year. That's a false report. And complete control and his choice of GM, all that is not true. Harbaugh get between 13 and 15 a year, and I just think he wants to coach. I think it'd be cool to have the Harbaugh Bowl too. And then the Minter is another one. Minter would be a hell of a coach here. I mean, his defense only gave up 16 points to the Bills yesterday, if you really think about it. So
I wouldn't mind it. I'm still reeling. I'm thinking about the Chargers Patriots game too. Fuck Justin Herbert, overrated as fuck.
You know what? Correct me if I'm wrong. Justin Herbert gets a pass from national media. I don't know what he's done to get a pass, but he gets a pass. 0 playoff wins. There's always an excuse. What's so funny? Who's talking shit?
No, I'm laughing with everything you're saying because I've been saying all these things, and everybody's like, he's a top 10 quarterback. Okay, last year, the playoffs, you threw how many interceptions? Yesterday, you were sacked 6 times. Guess what? You still have not won a playoff game. And your team still has 0 rings.
And I'll say this too. Jordan Love's better than Justin Herbert. Had more success. He's had more success in the playoff success. If he would have thrown for 375 and 5 touchdowns if Reed or Watson catch those passes against the Bears. He still threw for over 304 touchdowns. I'm just saying.
He's not a true number one, Demon King.
Not a true number one. Pierce, he was cool. Came out of Cincinnati, right? He
Yeah.
was cool, but like nah, like a number one has to be a guy that like this could be like who's like I like the kid out of SC. I like him, and I think he's got potential. But the reason I say if I'm the Raiders, I want a number one next year is because I want a chance to draft Smith next year to put him with Mendoza. I'll have those 2 first-round picks. I can go get him, and then you have a core, offensive core of Mendoza, Genty,
Brock,
and then you'd have Mayer, and you would have Smith.
Give me Surratt, man. Draft Surratt. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Draft Surratt. I'm taking him on my second-round pick. I'm taking Surratt with my second-round pick. Fight me on that. I'm taking Surratt with my second-round pick, and I'll keep saying it. I'm taking Surratt with my second-round pick.
You're trying to speak it into existence.
Surratt's going to be a Raider with the second-round pick.
Hey, I'm going to wear the condom hat next week. Next time I'm on.
Please don't. Fucking CGR, you're an asshole.
I thought about that. I thought about that when I was coming out. I was like, should I put the beanie on or not?
Please don't ever wear that shit on a live ever again. Oh, look, and the thumb down came up.
That shit was so funny. Oh my God, that was so funny.
Y'all just like, you completely fucked up that show with that because that's all I saw in the comments. And I'm like, this motherfucker, why?
I was spitting some good facts that show too. I remember I was actually spitting some good facts that show. But you know what? And then too, like, here's the thing too. Eric Stokes would be a guy that I would look to bring back on a cheap deal.
Talked about that, and I said that before. Like, especially like, we talked about the corner out of Duke. If we were to extend Stokes, and we were to draft God, what the fuck is his name again? I gotta look this shit up. I'm gonna draft somewhere. Chandler Rivers. Chandler Rivers. If we were to draft that corner out of Duke, like that's one of our major needs as a corner. And if we were to extend Stokes, it would give us the most stable cornerback duo in years. No questions asked.
The corner I like a lot in this draft, and it's so early in the process. And I watched a lot of San Diego State's corner. That kid is a fucking dog. I know he plays predominantly a lot of zone coverage, but that ball's in the air, he's gonna go get it. He'll come up and bang you. I mean, you talk about technique. He's technically sound, stays in phase. When he's in man, he knows how to squeeze, get you on the sideline. The guy is legitimately like, I'm surprised he's not being talked about. And he's like a day 2 guy, but one of the he's like one of my favorite corners in this draft. Just watching his tape. Yeah, Malachi Lemon is the guy from SC. And the thing I like about him, and in his freshman year or freshman or sophomore year, he wasn't getting he went and played corner because they needed corners. And he was backing up Zach Branch. Zach leaves, he comes in, last year Zach doesn't perform. All of a sudden he starts to outplay him. This year he wins the Bolitnikoff Award. You know what I mean? Like, and I love Zach. Zach's my little homie. I've known Zach since he was 12 years old, him and Zion. And so
Taino has a question for you. Who would you bring in for an interview that the Raiders haven't requested or interviewed yet?
It's a great question, T. Mike McCarthy. You can look like that all you want. You want a guy that can look at what he did with Dak Prescott and the way he played better underneath him. Look at what he did with Aaron, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Look at how well he groomed Aaron Rodgers and turned his career around. Mike McCarthy is one hell of a coach and knows how to develop quarterbacks.
The only reason I'm looking at you like that is a very, in my opinion, that's a shocking name. That is a name I would not have expected. Like, and this is the first time I'm hearing anybody mention Mike McCarthy. So that's why I gave that look. Like, I'm definitely fucking stunned by that.
Yeah, I mean, look at if Harbaugh doesn't get New York, I expect McCarthy to get the Giants. Like that's where it is. And
here we fucking go. I fucking hate you. Why
so
can't we have a conversation about football? Why do we have to go that way? I'm not highlighting that shit either.
So, like, if you bring in McCarthy to run the offense. Defensively, you bring in a guy. I mean, I don't know defensively who you bring in off the top of my head. But he brings in a DC, and he always brings in a solid DC. I mean, you may have something there with that, and then Mike knows what it takes to win. Every player that's played for him genuinely likes him. And what I like about him too is every time so when Green Bay fired him, he took a year off or a year or so off, and he went back in every Sunday or throughout the week, acted like he was coaching and learned nuances of a new offense and things like that. He did the same thing this year, and you see my McAfee show, and he started to understand a little more of the analytical side of things, and so he continues to learn and evolve as a coach. I would say Mike McCarthy would be high on my list. I mean, that's just me.
Really interesting. Salute to Estat with the $5 holla. Barry and Brown, wide receiver from the next draft, is smoking way better than Elijah Sarah. Hammer, look up. Okay, I'll take a look when I get a chance. I just like the chemistry. That's the thing. The chemistry for me right off the bat would be fucking great if they got drafted together.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm not. Again, like what we talked about earlier. I'll pull the curtain back. When we talked earlier, Cameron, like I said, like the reason why I don't do mock drafts is I don't want to have like a draft crush on anybody. So then if they don't draft them, if they're wrong, they should have drafted him because I wanted him, and then like a day or two later, it's like, no, that was a really good pick. And then the draft always changes. You never know. There's no like specific. Oh well, this is the way it went because this is the way the mock went. Teams do all kinds of crazy shit anyway. So I'm not married to anything other than you're taking Mendoza number one.
Let me just bring this onto the screen real quick for you guys because I know a lot of people came in super late. Joe also kind of came in late, but this is the mock draft that I did. I didn't do any live mock drafts today, but I did have a mock draft that I did, and I went a full breakdown of every player in this mock draft. And I think a lot of you guys would be happy if it were to play out this way. But let's throw this up real quick. Fernando Mendoza, Elijah Surratt, Chandler Rivers, Jacob Rodriguez, a linebacker everybody's screaming for, J.C. Davis, Michael Taft, Xavier Harris, Palmer Brailsford, and the other Kyle Lewis, linebacker out of Pitt, and Ethan Aninwa. I hope I'm not butchering it. The overall grade was an A for it.
Aninwa.
Yeah, that one. That part. But that was the mock that I did. And again, I know a lot of people are coming in late. We have 257 of you guys in here right now, but I know a lot of you guys came in late, so didn't get a chance to see that specific mock draft that was done. But that's kind of where I stand in terms of our needs and stuff and try to address all the needs that we had. It really wasn't much of a best player available type thing. Taft is the safety out of Texas. The kid is a fucking thumper. For his career at Texas, 222 tackles. Watch his film, Q. Call me a homer, whatever. The kid can fucking hit. 1,000%.
I think can he cover? Like, can he cover?
Yeah.
You're playing safety.
Yeah.
Hitting is one thing. Like that. Like,
Zon asked the same thing.
What?
Yeah, he can cover.
Can he cover? Yeah, like that's That's the thing. My safety got it covered. I like Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez is going to go higher than the 4th round. I know it's in a mock draft simulator. I think his production teams are really starting to watch more of the production now.
I think his stock is going to go up. It's the fact that they're playing the whole, oh, he's undersized for a linebacker. Guess what? He fucking played quarterback too, so he could definitely read an offense from the defensive side of the ball when he has to.
Yeah, and I'll say this too, and I'm not opposed to this.
Joe, get the beanie. Joe, get the beanie. It better be a good one too, Huck. Yes. Can I recap the mock? I'm gonna go over it again. I'll go over it again because you guys are asking to. Demokes, don't even know. My name is not. I'm not saying the fucking name.
Break bread or tear ass, homie.
He brought it back.
Break bread or tear ass, homie. Break bread or tear ass. I brought it out. Now I'm taking it off. No, I was saying I wouldn't be opposed of for the Raiders in the latter part of the draft taking another quarterback. You know, I don't think Trinidad is going to get his year back from the NCAA.
Oh, hell no. No, he's not.
So I mean, later, if he's around 5th round, why not? Why not do it? You know what I'm saying? How much he send?
20. He said, prophylactic Joe is my hero.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
All right, hold up. Before we go, fucking hate y'all. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick breakdown because somebody just asked in the chat, and like again, I know a lot of you guys came in late to this live, so I'm gonna put this back on the screen real quick. Where I'm gonna be on the screen, Joe's not gonna be on the screen, but you should be able to hear him. There it is again, and I'm gonna just do a quick breakdown and analysis as quickly as I possibly can as it pertains to these picks. I'm not gonna go playing the draft shit again. Yeah. All right. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner, 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions through the early part of the season. Stock has risen, especially due to his poise and leadership. 6'5", 225, elite decision-making, ball placement, quick release, highly effective at reading defenses, and shows great anticipation on throws into small windows. The cons on him, which I just feel like this is bullshit, tends to hold the ball too long, leading to unnecessary sacks. Scouts note he lacks an elite deep ball, and he has relatively short track record of high-level success. Guess what? 7 touchdowns at 86.3 completion percentage in the playoffs. Miss me with that bullshit. Elijah Surratt recorded nearly 1,000 yards in 2024. Led his team in touchdowns despite injury. Currently projected round 2, round 3 selection. Big body, 6'2", 209. High rate of converting catches into first downs or touchdowns. History of production across multiple programs. Lacks elite burner speed and is viewed more as a high-end complementary piece than a pure deep threat. Guess what? Dante Thornton, 2nd round. Throw the 2 of them out there on the field together. Anything's fucking possible. Round 3, Chandler Rivers, the corner out of Duke. 2024 first team all ACC selection, 3 interceptions. Stock has risen from mid-round prospect to a firm 3rd round projection. Explosive athlete with top-tier body control and ball tracking skills. Disciplined, savvy corner who can play outside or in the slot. So you can pick, plug and play however you want. His con, undersized, 5'10", whatever. Round 4, Jacob Rodriguez, the guy that everybody keeps talking about. Highest graded defensive player for Texas Tech in 2024, 82.5 PFF grade. Projected in the 3rd to 4th round range. Elite football IQ as he's a former quarterback, high motor, and knack for forcing turnovers. 7 forced turnovers last year. The con, slightly undersized, 6'1", 230. Yeah, okay. JC Davis, tackle out of Illinois, Senior Bowl invitee. 3rd team all Big Ten selection, projected as a day 3 developmental tackle who may kick inside to guard. See what happens with that, most definitely. Michael Taft, everybody's asking, who's Taft? AP second team All-American in 2024 after a 78 tackle, 2 interception season. Stock ranges from day 2 to early day 3. Extremely productive, 222 career tackles, high level instincts. Again, this guy isn't much of a project either. I'm all for him on the next level, most definitely. Again, Texas product, call me a homer. I don't give a fuck. Round
Homer.
5, Xavier Harris, defensive tackle, Mississippi. The size alone says it all for me. No Diddy if necessary. 6'7", 320 plus pounds as a defensive tackle. Ideal NFL size for a nose tackle or a 3 technique. Possesses a lightning quick first step and significant natural strength. Moving on, round 6, Parker Brailsford, center out of Alabama, 2025 permanent team captain and all SEC third team selection, viewed as a top 3 center prospect. You heard that right. Top 3 center prospect. Exceptional agility and speed for a second level. Draws comparisons to, wait for it, comparisons to Tyler Linderbaum. 6th round, linebacker Kyle Lewis out of Pitt. 2024 Sporting News first team All-American with a massive 101 tackle sophomore season. Projected as a day 1 or day 2 talent. I don't know why they have it on PFF as him being a guy that's in that 6th round range. He could definitely shoot up higher, especially after the Underwear Olympics. Last but not least, Ethan, how do you say the last name again?
Hold on, let me look.
Oninwa? Onienwa. The guard at Ohio State, senior transfer from Rice, 51 career games played, massive frame. This is another big fucking dude on the interior. 6'7", 331 pounds, extensive experience in the trenches. So there you guys have it for those that came in late. Again, gave you a quick breakdown. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Wasted drafting motherfuckers because they named you Scruggs. Y'all, I hate y'all. We got to start your free agent attached to your mock drafts. I'll allow it. All right. Let's see. Wasted over there drafting like 3 quarterbacks. Y'all are crazy. Not gonna lie, Hammer kind of cooked with this mock. Someone send this to Wasted and tell him this is how a mock's supposed to look like. Oh my god. See, y'all just like causing trouble.
Hammer send it to GM, who?
To Wasted. I would love to be a GM. I would love to at least be in a front office. I would have fun with it. You guys know, like, I can talk the business. I could talk numbers. Like, would I want to be a GM? I don't know. I would like to work in the front office. That would be fun. He said Wasted just threw his supervisor Sharpie. Yo, I'm done. Thank you. Look, I appreciate y'all.
I'm looking at free agents right now, the projected free agents, right? I'll go out and get Greg Newsome. He's only 25, former first-round pick. That'd be a guy I would look into. If I want someone a little bit older, I believe he's undersized with Jamal Dean. Those are a couple of guys that I would look into from the corner spot. Now, safety, Kyle Duggar's out there. He'd be out there. Jalen Thompson. I mean, depending on what you're looking for, Geno Stone would be the guy I would probably go hard after. I think Geno Stone can play. Geno Stone's a motherfucking dog.
I'm a dog. I'm a mutt. That's my shit.
And then just because he's the homie, I'd go get DeMar Hamlin. I'll look at DeMar Hamlin as well. I go get the homie. I know he likes Vegas too.
Only if he wears. I give him permission to wear 3. I don't ever want to see Zamir White wearing 3 ever again. As long as if he comes here, he has to wear 3.
If I'm being real, I don't want to see Zamir White wearing silver and black ever again.
I don't either. Everybody knows my sentiments and how I feel about him. Trash ass.
Yeah. Do we say we're receivers? Did I mention receivers?
I don't think he did.
All right, looking at receivers. I mean, you don't need a slot guy, so Debo is not going to work there. De'Ami Brown is available. Mike Evans is old. Christian Kirk's a slot guy. Jawan Jennings, maybe Ayuk because he's going to get cut. That may
God.
be
Nope.
somebody that's available. I said I brought up Dobbs earlier. I mean, again, this isn't one of those. I'm not looking at anybody that. Again, you don't want Pickens. You're not. He's probably going to get franchised
I'd
anyway.
rather shit my hands and clap, and I've been saying I have a strange feeling that he's going to get tagged.
Well, no, he's going to get tagged. Jerry's going to do that purposely. Speedy Naylor, local guy, Bishop Gorman guy. That could be one. Bring Jalen back home. But I'm looking at this group of receivers, and I'm not seeing anything that's like, again, jumping out at me to where I'm like, this has to be a guy they go get. So you're gonna have to kind of do it.
Bro.
What?
Tom Pelissero just put this out about 10 minutes ago. 16 candidates so far for the Titans, 13 of them with prior head coaching experience. Jesus. Former Arizona Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon had a busy week ahead. Sources tell me and Mike Garofalo that his interview scheduled is as follows. Dallas tomorrow, the Commanders, and these are for DC positions for two of them. Cowboys for DC, Commanders for DC Thursday, Titans for head coach on Sunday. Good God. Let's see if there's anything else that broke at all.
To me, the Titans job is the absolute worst job available right now.
The Commanders have requested to interview Panthers assistant quarterbacks coach Mike Bercovici for their quarterbacks coach position on OC David Blau's staff. Former QB himself and just 32 years old, has played a big role on Carolina's staff working with Bryce Young. Anything else? No, just guys walking into it's not even Heinz Field anymore. The Steelers' fucking home stadium, whatever. People change their fucking names of their stadiums like they change their underwear. And Gabe Davis did suffer a torn ACL versus Jaguars yesterday. So that's the most up-to-date NFL news. Let's see. That's pretty much it, man. We've been on for almost 2 hours. I'm still like 2 straight Mondays, almost 2 hours. This has been fun. This has been very fun. And Joe
Let's go eat a hamburger or something.
What?
Go eat a hamburger or something.
Shut up. Don't start your shit.
God. What's up, baby? Go eat a hamburger. That's what you got to do. It's Dirty Dusty Rhodes, baby. Go eat a hamburger. Gotta go get it. Go slap it down. Get some meat in your mouth. Did it all day. Astroglide, baby.
Oh my God. I'm fucking done. Kingsbury, I haven't heard anything on him in the last couple of days. But yeah.
I will say this. I'm not gonna say the name because I promised I wouldn't. There might be a surprise candidate for the Raiders job.
No, you want to say it?
No, I don't.
You do.
But I'm saying there might be a name that there's not one single person. And I said Mike McCarthy. No one's brought that up, but there might be a name that has not been said. Yeah, I just seen that. There might
you got to do it again.
Nah, I'm not. Not unless there's another super chat. I ain't doing it. Literally, there's a name that I've been told. Was it 2 weeks ago, Hammer?
Hold on. You can't say it.
You can't say it either.
Fuck.
No.
Better yet, hold on. I got to put the right sound effect. It was actually kind of similar though. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. But literally, there's a name that's out there that was told to me that I'm still tracking it down to see if it, but it has not.
The one we talked about Okay, yeah. Damn, man.
So it's not Gruden, but it's a name that has never been mentioned by anybody, and it's very interesting if that were to happen. Very interesting. Who knows? I might just fuck around and break it one day, just out the blue. We'll see. I just gotta get confirmation one way or another.
They just asked, is it good or bad?
Not gonna. I said literally what I said. I'm leaving
It's
that.
it's a huge surprise. That's you talk about being straight out. You talk about being straight out of left field. That would most definitely be it. No, because we talked about
what?
McCarthy
No.
before.
Yeah, we talked about McCarthy already. It literally came. It was one of those things where, it was one of those where I got a phone call or a text from somebody who I trust and asked me to do some digging because where he's at, he's heard it and he's very dialed into where he's at. And I was like, oh, so I'm doing my back end channeling right now. So we'll see. Pause. Yeah. So yeah.
All right, one more time before we go, bro. Come on.
Which one? The hat? Oh, now you like it. You look at it. Dusty Rhodes in the house. Just gotta go out there and find me a little scallywag skank schools. Yeah, baby. Get some Astroglide for hug these nuts. Yeah, baby. Oh shit. Oh yeah.
I fucking hate y'all.
Oh shit. The name is interesting. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, the name is very, very interesting to say the least. Salute to Demon King for the $2 holler.
There you go. It'll be a ripple effect in football. Honestly, it'll be a ripple effect in football. And no, it's not Bill Belichick.
Him and his 22-year-old girlfriend on the sideline at Allegiant. Nah, that would be a whole bunch of distractions.
You should be working across the street. Oh wait, we stop that from a movie.
I'm fucking weak. All right, I'm done. We're done. I got shit I still need to get done around the house. Joe, thank you so much. We're gonna get back into this, y'all. We're gonna get the Hammer and Joe show back rolling again. I know you guys have been asking for so long. So yeah. On your way out, if you haven't already, break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions in the house that Hammer built. Raider Nation news today. I fucking hate you. Continue to stay safe.
It looks like the hat they give newborns.
I'm done. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID or not, you should always remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Stay committed to excellence. Of course, as always, on my New York, peace, love, and positivity. And there's that part too.
And when I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
Yo, enjoy the rest of your day, y'all. We outro.